Hello my friends, welcome back. It's Marilyn here. I have this beautiful page that I create with the September limited edition kit by My Creative Scrapbook that this month is featuring my sweet collection by Prima Marketing. I already make this white mat and look this gorgeous photo. I make this mat with a die cut from my stuff and I'm making marks in the area on the paper that I'm going to place it later. But first I need to prime my paper and I'm using the Gesso Clear by Prima Marketing from the Rivera products. And I'm going to use this tool by scrapbook.com that I love to apply the gesso. And it's important when we are going to do mixed media, prepare the surface with a good gesso. In this case, it's clear. And let me tell you that I have been missing in action from my YouTube channel. I was on vacation, I needed, but I am back and I with a lot of ideas and inspiration for my next project that I hope that you enjoy. So don't forget to click the bell because in that way you will receive a notification every time that I upload a video. Okay, now I'm going to use this stencil by Prima and I'm using this paste that is the Distressed Grit Paste Opaque by Ranger. I just love this paste because when they are dry, it is they stay very in a white bright color. I used to mix modeling paste with white gesso to give this finish, so I discovered that this paste give me that. And now I'm giving the texture around all the dots, and look, it's so cute if it is like a shaped heart. Anyway, I'm going to let it dry all this texture and I'm going to work now with the chipboard. This month the kit comes with this beautiful chipboard by Prima. I select the beauty, the heart and the strip. And here is the embossing dabber. I am dabbing this sticky ink to the chipboard to add the embossed accent later. And in this case, I apply the embossing dabber direct to the chipboard, but if you want, you can give a coat of white gesso to cover the chipboard first. I didn't do it, but because I'm going to use the Blue Ferns No embossing powder that when it's dry stay very white, so I don't need in this case the white gesso. But if you use any other brand and you think and once it's dry the chipboard stay like gray, in that case I recommend you to use to give a coat of white gesso. Now I am melting the embossing powder here and you see already how lovely looks the area that is already melted. It is like a satin finish and this is the beauty. Now I'm going to melt the heart and the strip and these are ready as you see. Let me show you. You can take a closer look now. Look, it's so lovely. And look the beauty. And this one. Okay, I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to work now with my page. I'm going to give a technique over all this texture, that is the sponging technique. I am dabbing white gesso over the texture, all the stencil work. Okay, one tip important when you are doing this technique is to dab in the sponge. Don't rub it, because when you are rubbing, it is like you are using, for example, a paintbrush and you are applying the paint on the background and you will cover almost everything. With the dabbing, you will deposit a small amount of the gesso around the area and you smooth it at the same time. In that way you can highlight more the stencil work because you deposit the white gesso over the stencil, and at the same time you create this smooth, like you see here. It gives like a shadow around the stencil work, because the effect that the sponge bring around the stencil work, the whitish, the border of the stencil stayed without the paint, and it brings more depth and enrich more all the stencil. I just love this technique, but it is important to dab in, not rub in. Okay. Yes, this is the piece that I made with dies. I already adhere a piece of cardboard behind because I want to create dimension, and I'm going to cut this to put it flat because I don't want the egg shape. I don't need it, and I put it here following all the pencil marks. And here is when I decided I remove it. That is the good thing to use liquid adhesive. I can't remove it immediately. Okay, I'm going, at first I cut a strip of 2 inch, but I'm going to cut it later at 1.5 inches. Now I make marks here because I need a square to put behind this oval shape mat. So I cut this, and I'm going to use my distress tool to give textures to all these edges with this tool by Prima Marketing. Now, sorry, I am drinking coffee at the same time that I explained all this to you. Here is when I place back the mat. I noticed that it's too big, so I'm using my scissor, and I cut like 1/2 inch to one side, and with the same scissor I'm going to give to distress this border. But when I put it over the paper, I don't like the square shape, so I am cutting and following the same shape that has the mat. And it's okay, it's not had to be perfect because I'm going to distress with the scissor all the borders. Okay, now I am happy how it looks, and I've added another piece of cardboard behind. I play with my nails to give a little extra distress in the borders, and I am pulling out the like this shape that has the die. Here I am cutting like a fishtail in each side of the strip that I cut. I put this at 1.5 inches, and as you see, I'm going to give this shape, and I'm going also to distress all the borders using my distress tool. I love the texture and the look that it brings to the project. Now I cut a piece of cardboard, and I'm going to place it here and adhere this over here, and then I am adhere the photo over the strip. Now I take one of the chipboard and I place it in the bottom of the photo, and I'm going to adhere it too. Okay, I love the satin smooth, this sparkling that it brings to the page, because it will look more well, it's chubby, it's not too bright. Okay, this piece that you see here, I cut it from my dies from Tim Holtz. I am removing this border that you will see in one of the pages that I create with this kit that I use all this side. But here is when I add this lacy part that it looks like lace to the back of the strip. I use the tacky glue, and with my scissor I adhere it on the back. I want that it brings dimension. I don't want this part flat. For that reason, you see that I put the cardboard behind the strip. Now I'm adding the chipboard and the Prima flowers from the kit. I'm going to place this one here. I'm going to place with, look, this bunch of flower. I just love it. They are tiny. I am more a small flower that I prefer the small flower than the big ones, but I make this flower arrangement in this corner that I love, and I'm going to work with the other side now. I have the huge leaf. I don't know how to work with them, but I decided to put it here over the strip, and I think that it looks nice in this way. I put, as you see, the sugar heart behind the flowers, and all these leaves I cut it from a die from my stuff. I think it's from Ranger Team Halls 2, and I cut a bunch of these leaves just to I am trying to enhance all the layers with the leaves. Oh, sorry, I have a cut in my fingers, so I need to cover. I was working on the yard. You know that the summer I have tons of flowers, and I was working on the yard, and I make a bubble in this finger, and it hurts like crazy. Anyway, I put all the things, and I adhered it with the liquid glue and with my hot glue. And now I am dabbing the white gesso over the flowers just to give the same effect that the background has. And I dab in here and there. Now I'm going to adhere, instead to use the art stone, I am using these tiny pearls with clear gesso. I am using the 3D gloss gel by Prima to adhere all these tiny pearls over the flowers and in some area here. I just love that they already has this shiny pearls look, that it in person it looks amazing. Sometimes I am sad that the photo don't make justice to the projects, because you know, in person is other thing. I had these gems that I bought at Michael's, and I'm going to bring some sparkling effect on the background, so I am putting the gems in different places from the different layers of my background. Some on direct on the paper, others on over the strips, and in that way I can highlight more of the layers. Now here I want to smooth all the transition around all these texture with white gel, white paint splatters. I just mix acrylic paint with water and sparkle, give these sparkles around all this area. Here is when I decided, okay, this collection has buttons, has some images of buttons, but I decided at the end that I prefer to put a button, because I think that the texture that the real button brings is more, I don't know, I love more the, instead of cut the paper. And I have tons of buttons, and I add some white here and there. I also add in these beautiful butterflies that bring this beautiful touch here. And I think that I am almost ready here with my page. I am adhered some button behind the bunches here, the white bunches, just to create more layers in the same area. And I think that I am happy how everything looks so far. I'm adding more and let me tell you that I'm going to let you in the description box down below the link to the kit and to my social media, because I don't make a video for each page that I create, so you can go there and see. You can see here how it looks. Look how lovely it turns out. I hope that you like it as much as I do. Look all the textures and the layers with the flowers and different elements on my page. Well, my friend, I hope that you enjoy this video. Let me know if you like it with a thumbs up. And here are closer photos that you can see better the details. Check the description box down below for all the information. And here are 2 more videos that maybe you are interested, and I hope that you find some inspiration. I see you. Nos vemos. Bye bye.